One of the main issues that you have is cost of living greater than minimum wage earnings. How would we tackle that?
Um, One of the things that our party is looking at is looking away from this thing of minimum wage and look at the cost of living adjustment. That is basically putting on all your basic needs, see how much on average it's supposed to come out to for you to say how much you're supposed to be making. Um, that is the angle that we're looking at. That's the direction that we're going to go once we're elected as the election. That's actually a motion that has already been approved by Parliament, but again, it's somewhere sitting in a minister's office.
So in cost of living, I actually go a little further, more than just the basic, food, house. I look also put education in place.
Correct.
So how would you try to remedy that? Do you believe in a program that we could provide free education up until secondary, or?
I'm going to say I believe everyone should be educated. But I'm going to also tell you that I don't think St. Maarten can afford to offer free education.
Why not?
Why? 10-10-10, we adopted education free, no child must be left behind, everybody must go to school. Now, the problem with that is this. Who is paying for all those kids to go to school? Who's going to pay for it? We are already not making enough when it comes to our salary. The second issue you have, our borders are not protected. And this is a hot potato, a lot of people don't like to talk about it. But we have a lot of undocumented people coming in. No, they come in with their family. Their child is then sent to school because education is compulsory. No discrimination. Again, they're undocumented, they're not paying into the system, so they're not contributing. So who is paying for that child? Me and you, that is barely making it. Me and you, with the 3 kids, that can't even afford to feed the 3 kids, is still contributing to someone else.
Here's where I partially disagree with you now. What about corporate responsibility? Because I went to school in Florida, and in college, most of these kids come with this Bright Future Scholarship. Now, this scholarship is funded by Florida Lotto. What about companies doing a sort of program where, collect and offers funding for schools? You don't think that would work?
Look, that is something that can be researched, that is something that can be looked at. But you must remember, we're only 16 square miles. You can't compare Florida or companies in Florida to that of St. Maarten. Because we have a lot of small businesses as well. So if you want to say, okay, every company should contribute, yes, I believe every company should contribute one way or another. However, that is something, again, we can look at. But again, like I say, the money has to come from somewhere. You have the practice now that companies don't like to lose. So if they're going to invest in education, at the end of the day, they're going to pass that extra cost. They're going to pass that extra cost on their product. Who's buying that product? You and me again. So you have to be very careful how you approach the situation. It goes tit for tat. You don't want to put yourself in a very compromising situation where you think you're helping, but in reality, you're making it 10 times worse.
True, but just say on that one, because I was just thinking, as you said, the Florida lottery. What about Robbie's lottery? Do they even contribute to the island? Or even the casinos, they don't contribute to the island.
Yeah, but that's why I say that's something that we have to look at. Look,
they actually owe us money.
I honestly believe that every company should have a social responsibility. When you come and you set up, especially if you're a foreign company, you come and set up shop in St. Maarten, I think there should be a policy in place. Listen, if you're going to operate in St. Maarten, I'll give you a license. However, you're going to have to sponsor X amount of kids, for example. Or you're going to have to help maintain the street, for example. Or you're going to have to, but you have to give back something.
Job security is one of the main issues on your brochure. I see you have the unlawful practice of employers hiring undocumented workers. How do we tackle this?
Again, compliance. The minister responsible for this has to enforce the law. It is illegal for companies to practice hiring undocumented workers.
Now, for the amount of undocumented people on the island, how can we tackle this issue? Because we just can't deport everyone.
No,
They should, in my opinion, they should have some sort of, maybe a right to work, or we need to tackle this issue. So how do you think we can tackle this issue now, currently, in the state St. Martin is in?
okay. I'm going to be very clear how I answer this question. And the reason why, because I don't want to alienate anybody, I don't want anyone to feel offended. This country was made from immigrants. That's my opinion. From the hard work and sweat of immigrants. The Caribbean region has always been a region where we migrated among to do for work. St. Martiners went to Aruba, we went to Santo Domingo, So I have no problem with immigrants. I come from a background of immigrants. The issue here is not immigrants that has documents. Immigrants that has documents, they have a right to be here. We welcome them here. They are providing a service here in St. Martin that we need. The issue are immigrants that are here, undocumented, illegally. That is the issue. Now, we have rules and regulations for a reason. If you do not abide by these rules and regulations, then of course you have to be deported. It's either the employer applies for your paper to make sure that you are contributing your fare to the community in order for you to be here, or sorry, you have to leave. It is our rules, it is our regulation. They are there to protect all of us. Immigrants that has the right to work here and has the proper documents, natives who are born St. Martiners, or natives or people that are married to born St. Martiners. It's something to protect us. We have got to maintain the law.
Brooks Towers, wasn't that supposed to help in some way?
Yes, this is my personal opinion. I think Brooks Tower was supposed to be, in my opinion, an opportunity for us to clean up St. Martin in the sense of giving people that were here for X amount of years that didn't have the proper documents, giving them that has contributed tremendously to this community, giving them the opportunity to get their documentation. That was what Brooks Tower was supposed to be. But while at the same time, what should have been done is that we should have been protecting our borders. So you clean up house and make sure that you secure your perimeter. But what is going on? There's still, our borders are still unprotected. So we're still creating the same problem that we had before. Again, compliance. Priorities has not been placed in the right direction, in my opinion.
So why did you choose to join the United St. Martin Party?
When I decided to run for the 2014 parliamentary election, I spoke to several parties. Now, I believe in giving everybody an opportunity. In these conversations or these interviews, key questions was asked. Now, the United St. Martin Party came closest to my political ideology. Also, that's one that was a plus for them. And next thing is that it was a brand new party. The rumors out there that they were, MP France was willing to work with young people. He himself says that he believes young people should be given an opportunity. And if you look at our slate, you'll see that it's 15 of us. It's 15 of us, we're all new. No, we're not all new. Let me put it this way. We all have inspirations to be in politics. And we have, for example, what I would say is also a better opportunity with the United St. Martin Party as if we would have had with the United People Party, or if we would have had with the National Alliance, or if we would have had with the DP. The reason being is because if you notice that the parties that I've just mentioned, usually when they win a seat or win position in government, it's always the same faces that goes there. For a young, inspiring politician, it is difficult to break that mold. That's one of the things that I looked at as well, that helped me make this decision.
There was an article in the newspaper several days ago where asked for the U.S. party, it's 4 years of Mr. Leadville. What do you have to say about this?
I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed in that article. Why? There's several reasons. One, I don't know the gentleman, Terry Pearson. He has never picked up the phone to call me. He has never asked me what is my reasons for being in politics. Two, this has been my goal all my life. I am aware that this is politics. You have to be prepared. You have to have a broad back. That's no problem. I am going to stay focused and deal with the issues. If he wants to come and attack me in the media for no reason whatsoever, because I really don't know what I have done to him, for him to go out in the public and do something like that, that's him. I am about the issues. I've been a person that those that know me knows my track record very well. I've always been involved in serving the community of Somalia. I'm just looking to do it in a different level now. I've always been involved.
Could you give us some examples of how you've been involved in the community, like just said, before you started working in Parliament?
I'll start from high school. I'll start from high school and then understand more or less who I am and why I am who I am. I was president of the Interact Club. I was a leader in the youth parliament. I was vice president of the JCI. I am a certified judo instructor. I am a VKS officer. I am co-founder of the St. Maarten Food Bank. These activities that I've just mentioned, all of them are volunteer. All of them are volunteer. I do that on my spare time. I realize that St. Maarten has certain social needs, and I put my life on the line. I put my time on the line to provide these social needs because I have the opportunity to. Like I say, I'm a product of St. Maarten. I love St. Maarten. Those are the things that I'm involved in. I make sure, for example, the VKS is one of the last organizations that I joined, but it's one of the organizations that I love the most as well. Because I am able, while you are sleeping in your bed at night, I'm out there patrolling, protecting you, making sure that you are safe. I put my life on the line. And when I do things like this, and then I have individuals like Mr. Terry Pearson coming to think that are coming to the public to say certain things without even looking at my background, I'm wondering if he can hold a candle to the things that I do in St. Maarten, for St. Maarten, on a voluntary basis. I'm wondering.
So to summarize, Richinel Brug as a candidate, who would you say you are, and why should St. Maarten vote for you?
Not to boast too much, but I believe I'm the best thing since sliced bread for St. Maarten. Honestly, I honestly do. St. Maarten needs an individual that has good moral standards. That is Richinel Brug. A man of principle. That is Richinel Brug. A man that believes in equality. That is Richinel Brug. A man that believes in justice. That is Richinel Brug. A man that will not compromise his position and put the lives of others in danger. That is Richinel Brug. That is why you should vote for me. I have a hunger, and I have had this from since God knows when, since high school. I've always said it, that one of the most influential positions that you can have is to be a political leader, and you have to give that power to someone that knows how to use it the right way. For years, decision makers have been misusing it, and as a result, we have a significant amount of our population living in poverty. It is time for a change. Vote me for Parliament. Vote me for your change. I am Richinel Brug, the number 7 candidate on the United St. Maarten Party slate.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.